6.5 Geelong Cup of 2019 over 2,400 metres, and the favourite is Prince of Aaron at $4. Had a True Self $5 into 480, Supernova at $6, Steel Prince at $6.50. Double figures the rest, Al Herald and Red Galileo at $10, Red Cardinal at $19, Grey Lion at $19. It's a super race. Into the mounting yard we go to assess the stayers. Race number 7 here on Geelong Cup Day. Here is the favourite for the Geelong Cup, and it is Prince of Aaron, Michael Walker, Charlie Fellows, Tash Eaton leading around her favourite horse, who was runner-up in the Herbert Power. He's been placed in a Melbourne Cup. Can he win this race impressively and win his way into the Melbourne Cup?
Sure can. He was terrific in the Herbert Power, working forward on that strong pace, and he was very game all the way. The Chosen One got him on that occasion, but it's a tricky gate in some respects today, but he's brought the quality, and his Australian form's terrific.
Jane, how is the Prince today?
Oh, the Prince looks great today. I thought that his first up parade here in Australia was eye-catching. He's got a great fitness base on him coming into this today. I think that he's been really well maintained in between runs. As you can see, he has a little bit of a sweat in his flank, but that's about as bad as it gets for him. He takes everything in his stride, and he's pretty at home here in Australia.
Well, then he's trying to win his way into the Cup, and here is the Australian Prince, formerly the Irish Prince. It is Steel Prince, and he's in the Melbourne Cup. And Damien Oliver's on board, who's won this race on 2 occasions, Media Puzzle and Bauer.
Yeah, who can forget that titanic battle between him and Surprise Baby in the Andrew Ramsden. Both runs back have been good. He settled back there. I think they'll be more proactive today, try and put him in the race. But the key for him, he's got to behave himself. He's got to be good out of the barriers. If he does that and he puts himself in the race, he'll take a lot of getting past.
He had obviously a little bit of a mishap in the barrier. It took a little bit of skin off, but actually just looking at him wander around, it was very superficial, and I can't imagine that it's had any impact on him whatsoever. Condition-wise, he looks fantastic. He's been building really nicely, I guess, towards his target, which is the Melbourne Cup, but he's in nice order today. He'll have a good sweat, but that's just him. He's a busy, active horse, and he is a little bit of a free sweater.
Here's a mare called True Self, and Willie Mullins, the wily Irish trainer. She is number 41 in the Melbourne Cup order of entry, and she's been allocated 51.5 kilos. Can she win this race and make her way up the list and into the field?
I like her overall form. I like the fact she's with Willie Mullins, and yeah, I think the fact that the market's really respecting her speaks volumes, and if she's travelled and she can bring her A game, look out.
She's a mare that's just a real staying type. She's got a lot of scope about her, a lot of length across her back. I've watched her out at Werribee, and she's just got a real willingness about her. She carries herself beautifully on race day, but everything she does, she just appears to be so happy in the way that she's doing it. Small sweat from her, but obviously quite warm overhead conditions, but all in all a nice parade.
Let's go back to last year's Ebor winner, lost all form at the moment, Muntaha, guaranteed of a run in the Melbourne Cup already. Lindsay Park Racing won this race in the colours of Shadwell with Al Moon Kit in 2015.
Yeah, made an early move last time, but still, I mean, you look at the overall form of Muntaha in Australia, it just hasn't. It's almost been a polar opposite of Prince of Aaron, who's come here and just gone to another level. This guy hasn't settled into Australia as well, and I can't be with him. And it looks like the market, even though there's been a little support at longer odds, he isn't with him either. And yeah, enough said with him. I've been looking elsewhere.
Lindsay Park Racing have decided to put the blinkers on Newf Bosk. 4 runs back in Australia. Thought in the naturalism he just started to show that he was acclimatising and getting to the right trip, and then things just didn't pan out at the Metro.
They didn't, but that's if you handpick one run and it was a better effort. If you look at the overall picture, it's a bit disappointing, and that's why he's $21 today. He needs to step up today.
Red Cardinal's in the Melbourne Cup, but he hasn't passed the ballot clause, so would need to win today. Chris Lees is here on course down from Newcastle. Kerry McAvoy's won 3 Geelong Cups.
Knows how to do it. Yeah, big race jockey, that's for sure. Yeah, I think you look $21 in the market. He's second up. No doubt he'll strip fitter. Interesting runner.
And Al Herald, the Mar Eustace team have nursed him back to health and fitness. He's 3rd up today. His Bart Cummings run was improving.
It was behind Surprise Baby, beaten 4, hit the line well. Second best final 200 there. So he's been building. He's been building well this prep. He's drawn a gate. I think we're going to see how good he is today.
He's a stockier European, a little bit more muscular and a little bit more compact. Probably required his first couple of runs to bring him on fitness-wise. I liked his gallop at Moonee Valley last Saturday morning. I thought he looked like he was getting very close to his peak, and that's what we're seeing from him in the yard today. Very bright in the coat, and he's certainly trimmed down.
Well, the third attempt to win the Geelong Cup for Grey Lion. He came here 2 years ago. He ran second, beaten by a very small margin with Katie Mallion in the saddle, trained by Matt Kamani. He's now with Matt Smith and Craig Williams. Well, he's won this race 5 times.
If he can recapture that effort when fourth to Finch, yes, you could make a case. He's had 3 runs his prep, they've been okay, but no, I think we know enough about Grey Lion to say there's others that make a lot more appeal.
Look, he's a horse that does get fit quite quickly, quite early in his racing preparation, but we haven't seen that from him this time. He's been well and truly beat, but back to Victoria, new environment, and he looks bright enough in the yard. There are others I prefer, but you can't knock him.
3 years ago, Godolphin won the race with Kiwi, trained by Charlie Appleby. Today, Sayed Bin Sarur brings Red Galileo for a crack at the Geelong Cup.
Yeah, 9-year-old. That said, he's won 3 times. He's a perennial place getter almost. I think he probably needs to bring something a little extra than what we've seen. It was a good run in the e-ball, but I'd be looking elsewhere.
He's only a neat type. There's not a lot to him. He's got the couple of strappers on him, and he's behaved himself in the mounting yard. He's got a little bit warm, but he really hasn't turned to here in the sense that he's literally just wandered round and dropped his head and been incredibly relaxed. For a horse coming off an 8-week let-up, he looks pretty ready.
OTI team have got 3 runners in the race, and they've had good success in the past. They won it with Bauer, they won it with Gatewood and Ibachenko. Can they win it with their outsider in Hakey?
Prefer the other one, Richard, and so does the market. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but Hackey, look, well, went forward, led up, went probably too quick in the Herbert Power, but I still wanted to see more.
And then we get to number 11, and this is for Team Hawks. 54th on the order of entry at the moment with only 50 kilos Supernova, so would need a remarkable performance here to get some sort of penalty to get it into the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, but very fit, can get a nice run in the race, I think, from that sort of middle draw. 54 kilos, terrific run, I thought, in the Bart Cummings. I mean, only beaten a length and a half and was close enough to that speed. So I agree with what Jim said earlier. I thought there was a lot of merit to that performance.
He's a great type. He's a flashy individual, and you won't miss him in the mounting yard. He's going to catch a few eyes because he certainly does look a picture. There's no doubt about that. If you're looking solely on type, you'd have him right in it, but he does get himself quite worked up on race day. He gets up on his toes and does get a little bit warm and tends to deteriorate a little bit behind the barrier. I'd like to see him just a little bit more settled, but I think it's a better parade than what we saw at Flemington, so maybe the edge is off.
Your top 4 selections here, Hutch, for the Geelong Cup.
I've been with sort of Steel Prince all along this, well, not all along this prep. I thought he might need it first up, but yeah, he's a nice horse going forward. They'll want to be winning today, if not going very close. Prince of Arran, they do need to win, and he's just been so consistent here in Australia. I think Supernova will run well. True Self, well, if you like to follow the market, look out. 8, 3, 11 and 10. And Jane, the pick of the yard for you in the Geelong Cup.
I'm with Red Cardinal here. I thought he looked outstanding in the yard. He's a good type, he's big, he's strong, he's got plenty of stretch. He was absolutely glowing in the coat. Didn't get to see him first up, so I can't make any comparisons, but I thought he looked great in the yard. So Red Cardinal goes on top. No knock at all on Prince of Arran. I'm a big fan of his, and he's maintained really nicely coming into this. Steel Prince, obviously very well conditioned. As I said, he'll get warm, but that's very typical of him. Outside of that, Supernova gets it for me on type. He just needs to stay nice and settled behind the barrier, but happy to be with the 4 here, Red Cardinal.
Geelong Cup.
Terrific, Richo. Great build-up today. Beautiful conditions for the running of the Bet365 Geelong Cup, and what a fascinating race with all of the imports involved. True Self has been the horse they've backed, but just late in the piece, it is now $3.80 out to $4.20 with Victorian official prices, and Prince of Arran was $4.60, trimmed up to $4.40. True Self just holding the call, and Supernova $6 into $5 has all of that form around Surprise Baby and also Wolf, of course. First run in 1872, the Geelong Cup. OTI, as you can see, Hackey there has 3 runners in the race. Grey Lion, Craig Williams, will wear the main set with the white cap. Linda Meach aboard Hackey is wearing a red distinguishing cap, and Johnny Allen on True Self is sporting a black distinguishing cap. Moving up for the Geelong Cup, True Self is in with also Supernova. Steel Prince is in line for Damien Oliver. Grey Lion in for Craig Williams aboard this 8-year-old gelding. The first 4 into the stalls. On the tote, you're looking at $4.30 Prince of Arran, $5 Steel Prince, $5.30 Supernova, $5.50 True Self. Jockey of Supernova, Dwayne Dunn, momentarily out of the saddle. Red Galileo goes in for Pat Cosgrave, the Caulfield Cup winning jockey of last year. Trained by Saeed bin Saror, takes a middle alley. Del Harold is in. Muntaha takes a wide alley. Red Cardinal comes up for Karen McAvoy. Nerf Bosk and Prince of Arran will be the final 2. Red Cardinal is in. Red Cardinal goes forwards, and that will leave Prince of Arran trying to work his way into the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Takes an outside alley for Michael Walker. The Bet365 Geelong Cup, and the field is set. Ready to go. The Geelong Cup of 2019. Field of 11, Sickle, and they're racing. And immediately True Self just veered towards the left, didn't lose a lot of ground. Grey Lion began well. They're trying to sort out who's going to lead this. Prince of Arran is pushing up out wide with Nerf Bosk outside of Hackey, and then came Red Galileo, who got to 4th. Out wide of Muntaha's looking for a position. Grey Lion next and True Self, and then Del Harold. Supernova 3rd last. The inside is Red Cardinal, and Steel Prince is last. So just under 2,000 metres to run, and Hackey leads at no pace at the moment, followed by Prince of Arran 2nd. Nerf Bosk behind those with Red Galileo, who is one off the fence, and Muntaha travels around him over the crossing at the 1,800 metres. A length and a half away then is Grey Lion. Del Harold 3 deep. True Self next the fence. Further back is Supernova and Red Cardinal, and Steel Prince is at the end. So Hackey looks to bowl. Leads by about 2.5 lengths down, just quickened there as they head towards the back section. So with 1,500 metres to run, it's Hackey by over 2 lengths Prince of Arran. They were followed by Muntaha, who gets one off the fence 3rd. Nerf Bosk 4th the fence, and then came Red Galileo. A length and a quarter, Del Harold, who's 3 deep around Grey Lion, and True Self 2/3 down the field, pinned away on the rails. Steel Prince trying to get motivated with a slow tempo, 3rd last. Red Cardinal 2nd last, and Supernova is at the end. So Hackey's trying to get this into a solid tempo as they reach the 1,000 marker. 2.5 lengths Prince of Arran, 2 lengths Muntaha the outside of Nerf Bosk, and then Del Harold, who has improved to 5th around Red Galileo. True Self the inside, followed by Steel Prince, who's on the back of Del Harold. Next is Grey Lion, Supernova, and at the end is Red Cardinal. 7.50 out. It's Hackey controlling by a length Prince of Arran. Muntaha 3rd around Nerf Bosk, and then came Del Harold, tracked by Steel Prince. True Self's off the rails at that crucial stage. Then Red Galileo approaching the turn from Red Cardinal, Supernova, and at the end is Grey Lion. 400 metres to go as they quicken. It's Hackey just in front of Prince of Arran, giving it the stare. Then Del Harold, who's always been wide. Next Muntaha down the outside. True Self has got through, and then came Supernova. Prince of Arran at the 200 takes Hackey. True Self still 2.5 off Prince of Arran. Walker goes for the whip. Prince of Arran at the 100 metres, but True Self coming out after Prince of Arran. Prince of Arran 3/4 a half. True Self's going to lunge. They hit it. Prince of Arran has just beaten True Self. 3rd Hackey. Photo 4. Red Galileo or Red Cardinal. Then Supernova. Steel Prince, Grey Lion, Nerf Bosk. Behind those Del Harold, and Muntaha was last in the Bet365 Geelong Cup.
What a win to Prince of Arran, and a supreme performance. Right there on speed, he's so tough. True Self came at him, but Prince of Arran loves it here in Australia. We've adopted him as our own. He continues to relish racing. Michael Walker knows him so well, and True Self was terrific, tested him, but just misses. And Tash Eaton, a great thrill. I'll bring you over to our cameras, Tash, because we're adopting you as one of our own as well, like we're doing with Prince of Arran. And I reckon your boy has just done enough there to go up the order of entry and win a spot towards the Melbourne Cup. What a great performance.
Oh, he's the legend. He's my boy, and everyone back home, they deserve it. The team at home deserves it. Charlie deserves it, and Aaron, he's a legend. He deserves it so much. And I can't thank Aaron and Charlie enough for sending him out here and, you know, giving me the privilege of travelling with him. It's a dream. It's a dream, absolute dream. And he is going to have loads of carrots. Oh my God. Well, he gets loads anyway because he's proper spoiled, but yeah.
I know that. I've seen that firsthand at home. What is it about Australia though with him? Because he grows another leg.
He does. He turns a different leaf out here. He loves it. And I'm just hoping and praying it's enough to get in.
Oh,
That's what we want. We want him to look down and old Greg to be nice. Come on. So fingers crossed, honestly. He deserves this. Right, I'm going to go give him a...
Maybe a little half kilo. That's all you need to ask Greg. You need to ask Greg for a little half a kilo to make sure, a little penalty will just make sure he's guaranteed of being in.
Please, Greg, please. We're begging you. You know, but I know. He's a legend.
He's still a long way away. It's okay, Tash.
I keep well enough. I'm like, I can't speak. No.
Well, I was lucky enough to catch up with you a long time ago when he was at home and just mentioning the Australian trip, you started to well up. But because how much you love this horse.
I mean, I love this horse to death. I mean, going into my third year, travelling him and doing everything with him, and it's fantastic. And you know, when he's back home, all the guys, they love him. They take extra care of him, and you know, it's great. It's fantastic. What a result!
Give us a comparison of what we saw last year.
He's going to come out happy, eh?
Charlie will be happy. He'll be bringing out his wife as well. I'm sure they'll have a great time.
Maybe a champagne breakfast in order for Charlie this morning?
I would have thought so. Hopefully he's watching it. He's cheering you on. He'd be so ecstatic. Compare with what we saw last year versus his physical condition this year.
He just, like Michael said, from his first run here in the Herbert Power, which was a very nice, strong run, he said he feels a stronger horse, and I agree. And that's what I said to you when you saw him. He just keeps progressing.
He's finally arrived. Go, Tash, run. She's off. And she loves Aaron, as she affectionately calls him. He is a prince, no doubting it.
Can't do much more than what he's done in Australia, can you? Terrific run first up. He's won the Geelong Cup. Surely that's enough. And I'm sure that'll be the cry, of course, from the stable as well. But Michael Walker's had a fantastic association, positive out of the barriers, put him in a spot today. Jim, I thought the tempo seemed solid enough. I mean, we're not sure of the sectionals, etc., but he put him in the race and he was tough and game.
And as it turned out, Clint, that was the thing to do. He was drawn wide, he had to cross over. He was very positive right from the start, and that's won in the race, because the second horse, as you can see, has come home with a wet sail and has just failed. True Self, fantastic run, but inches away from that all-important victory, which we did know beforehand. Whoever wins it is likely to get a penalty and enough to get into the Cup.
Yep, and Michael Walker just unsaddling Richo, and he's had a big part in this Prince of Aaron story, hasn't he? And he'll be delighted as much as the stable, I would think, because he was so game in last year's edition, and who's to say he won't be there again this year?
Oh, and it is remarkable, isn't it? Well, Michael Walker just got to know Prince of Aaron last spring and had a spin around on him in a Herbert Power. He ran so well, and then he won the Lexus and then ran third in a Melbourne Cup. He went to Hong Kong with him, and then now this preparation, second in a Herbert Power. He wins a Geelong Cup. And Michael Walker is part of the ingredient of the Prince of Aaron story, mate. And your boy was super again today.
Yeah, he was. Hopefully we get a run in the Cup now. Geez, Rich, he did it the hard way. People were changing their tack in the race, wanting to go forward with only Hackey, obviously the speed. So I'm in the gates thinking, this is going to be a disaster, because he doesn't usually jump that good. Twice we jumped good Melbourne Cup last year, and today I got it so easy, but I'm doing it the hard way because I'm doing all the donkey work, bringing the field up to the leader. He was off the bit cornering, but he does that cornering. But as soon as he hit the straight, geez, he shaked it out. He's got a heart bigger than anyone on this course today.
And he's done 58 kilos, so he just needs the handicapper to say, I tell you what, he might need a little half kilo extra in a Melbourne Cup, and that'll get him in the field.
I hope so, Richo. I love the horse. Thank you to Tash for all the work she does with this horse. She travels all around the world. And Charlie and, hey bud, good on you. His wife and all the team back home, you know, he's got the new training establishment now. I'm very fortunate and very lucky that they've stuck with me this year. I just need to go two places better in the Melbourne Cup this year.
Well, the horse goes well for you. Of course, they can't get rid of Cuzzy Bro.
I love him. He's a cuz to me now, the horse.
Well done, buddy.
Thanks, cuz.
Oh, sensational stuff. And Terry Henderson.
Cuzzy Bro.
So close, yet so far, Jane. You're alongside Terry and they just missed with True Self.
Yeah, well, second and third, and you've had a fair few connections and jockeys to speak to, but top performances by both True Self and Harky.
Oh, very, very good, and can't take anything away from Prince of Aaron. He was the best day there today. We had our chance to run him down over that last 200 metres and just didn't get there. I think probably the run will improve our mare, and so it'll be interesting to see where Willie would like to take her from here. And Hacky, well, that is the true Hacky. A much better run, under pressure a long way out, hung on well, so Lexus looks an ideal target for him.
Yes, so into the Lexus and still the hope of making the Melbourne Cup field with Hacky?
With Hacky, yes. I talked to Willie about whether we do that with True Self. She's more a brilliant sort of a horse, so don't be surprised if we nom her for a race like the McKinnon.
Well, I'm sure we'll see the colours pop up again somewhere. Nice performance by both of them.
Thanks, Jane.
Well, I'm joined by Paul Bloodworth for Racing Victoria. Does so much work going around the world and selling the Spring Carnival to the internationals, and it truly is an international carnival now, Paul. And another international winner of Geelong Cup.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Richo. I mean, you know, Charlie's brought this horse a couple of years now. He needed to win today to get into the Melbourne Cup, so I'm hoping Greg will now be kind and give him enough weight to get into the race, because his Australian form's just so fantastic. So I really think he deserves his spot in the race. But yeah, it's just really happy for Charlie and Natasha, who's here looking after the horse today.
Baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at, baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. We go fast with the game we play. But who knows why it's gotta be this way? We say nothing more than we know. When I say your place and we leave home, 'cause baby, this is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. Baby, this is what you came for.